page 93, where are ratio word problems. This is ratio of three quantities. And let's take a look at this one here. A fruits question. We have three identities here: apples, pears, and mangoes. So starting off with our reading and annotating, we have apples to pears to mangoes, and then pears to mangoes. Get ready my color to help me. The ratio of the number of apples to number of pears is 4:7. The ratio of number of pears to number of mangoes is 2:3. Okay, I notated already. Then it says, what is the ratio of the total number of apples and pears to the number of mangoes? Okay, very complicated. And then there's a fewer than relationship in the next question. And then how the question asks for how many more mangoes, which really looks really complicated. So let's work through it step by step, starting off with the first information given to us, the two ratios there: apples to pears, and then you have pears to mango, apples to pear. Oh, thankfully apples to pear, and then you have pears to mango. So these are the information that's given. To help me be better at this, I'm going to color apple is 4 units, pears 7 units, pears, apples, pears, mango, okay. Here, let's start off with the first one that's given. You have apples to pear, that is 4:7. Well, for pears to mangoes, it's not given as 7, it's given as 2:3. So to write it further below. Why? Because you have to think, can I get from this to this? And this is the repeated identity, apples to pears to mangoes. So pears is one that is repeating. So I have to get pears to be the equivalent, because I have to find equivalent ratios of them to put pears identical, because that's the one that's identical here. So from 7 and 2, what I can think of is the first common multiple, which is from 7 I can become 14, and then that is the same as here. I can, from 2 I can get to 14 by multiply by 7. So that gives me that common identity, 14. Then for mango, I must multiply by 7 as well. So 2:3 becomes 14:21. And then for apples and mangoes, from 4:7, it becomes 8:14. So for apples to pears to mangoes, that will be 8:14:21. But does that answer our question? That's a very important question there. The question A asks for total number of apple plus pear to the number of mangoes. So that's referring to 8 plus 14 apple plus pear is 21. So we are looking at total of apple and pear. So that's the first part A. Then you have part B. Part B compares apples and pears. So this one's apple and this is pears. If I use this ratio to work on things, because it has an apple, pear, and mango on a single row, I'm going to write it down here. 8 is to 14 is to 21. And I solve the next question, part B. Fewer apple than pears. So pear is more. Pear minus apple. That will be 14 minus 8 units. That is 24 fruits. So that would mean 14 minus 8, 6 units is 24 fruits. Then you need to find how many more mangoes than pears. So the answer is asking for mango minus pear for part B. Okay, that will be 21 units minus 14 units. That will be 7 units. So you calculate that 1 unit from here, then you get to your 7 units because that is mango minus pear in the question. Okay, and you get your answer. Then can you write down your final statement here? There are how many more mangoes than pears? Alright, so that is this question here for question 5. I will choose to use just ratio instead of model drawing for this question because I think putting 7 units and 2 units finding common multiples and then 21 units for mangoes, that's a lot to draw. So I'll stick to using the ratio to method to solve.